I think if the first season was all about the explosive moment of Me Too and figuring out how to ferret out a lot of the wrongdoing that was happening, I think season 2 is more about the gray area of how do we move on from here and what is our place. I think it's a more subtle season in that way, but to me that's just different, not necessarily better or worse.
So from the start of season 2, you see us, post the announcement that Alex and Bradley offered Mia as the executive producer of the morning show, which was super exciting to tap into. Over the season, you see her navigate through what it means to be a woman of color at the top of the heap. For the most part, we see her grappling with the challenges of being an executive producer, dealing with a lot of different challenges and leading a news organization forward.
So season 2, of course, we start talking about COVID. They're also going through a very personal excavation of their lives. So I think you're gonna see different sides of the characters this season that you hadn't seen before. For me specifically, a lot of that has to happen with what's going on in the time and how it impacts Daniel's life.
The hardest moment on set was when we saw the shadow of COVID coming towards us and we're realizing that we're probably going to have to shut down, and the writers are probably going to have to figure out how to rework this season to incorporate COVID in some meaningful way.
I think the oddest moments certainly had to do with outside of the set. We obviously had to do a lot of testing, and we were filming the morning show season 2 when there was no vaccine in sight, So that was probably the hardest and most challenging experience of my life.
When we talk about COVID, that's a very vulnerable, challenging side, and we were both experiencing that in life and also talking about it as in the characters. And so as you can imagine, there's a lot of complexity with that.
I love working with Jen Aniston. I think I was lucky enough this season to share a lot of screen time with her. And she is a deeply soulful individual. She's super fun. We have really good chemistry and just enjoy being together. And I think the writers really leaned into that for this season.
Well, the best moments really were working with my friends on the show. My scenes with Nestor Carbonell and Desean Terry, and I do a lot of fun work with Mark Duplass. Those are probably the best moments, and they're always the best moments.
First of all, I love the writing, and I love the things that Kerry Aaron gave for Daniel to work on this season. You'll see many different sides of him, and we'll see him in some places that I think will be very, very surprising for the audience. And so those challenges were really great.
Well, I have anxiety. So I think that me being a live TV reporter, you'd get a lot of stuttering, and I think we'd have like the armpits sweat thing going on. So I'd be wearing, paper towels under there would be a bit of an issue for me.
The worst quality probably would be constantly checking my hair to make sure it looks good.
The job is really hard. Pretending to do it has made me realize that it's a hard job. But I think the most difficult thing that impacts them is how early in the morning they got to get up. Oh my God. Oh, that would be tough.
I'm interested in what's coming next, and I'm a listener, right?
One of my good qualities, depending on what you're looking for, because I would be honest, I wouldn't be plastic, I wouldn't be fake, I wouldn't be able to get up there and deliver something canned. I would just be raw and a little bit like, honestly, what you see from Chip. So maybe that would be a breath of fresh air, or it would be a dumpster fire. Hard to tell.